Is your air conditioning system burning through money? Today, we're going to talk about myths and mistakes that people make, costing you thousands. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to ProCalcs University. I'm Tom Platania, your host. Had a great week. This video is coming to you today to help as part of our ongoing series of the perfect comfort in your home. And today we're going to be talking about is your HVAC system, mainly your air conditioner, costing you money. You saw that little thumb tag on the thumb picture on the front of the video. I've heard the words escape right now of the guy smoking a cigar, burning the money. Well, that's it. It's like that guy's your air conditioning system, and he's burning through money when he shouldn't be. So we're going to talk about some of the myths and mistakes a lot of people make when it comes to sizing your air conditioning system, running your air conditioning system, and doing different things like that. Hopefully save you guys a few bucks, if not thousands of dollars on your HVAC system. Yes, thousands. Some of these mistakes made by a lot of people and myths like oversizing. If you oversize your system, which is the biggest one, not as frequent are people undersizing it, but if you oversize your system, it could literally cost you thousands. Not just for the additional cost of buying a larger system, but for all the problems that it causes. And we're going to talk about those problems and why. But first, and I hope this next segment's not like annoying you. If it is, put it in the comments. Hat time. So we're playing the hat game, trying to decide, guess what hat I'm wearing, where it's from. So I kind of coordinated the hat and the shirt today. But last week, we had a hat, and obviously the words on it told you exactly where it's from. But we're going to show you today where exactly it's located, and Marie's going to put up there on the video some information about the location of Majorca. Now, this was a stop that we took on one of the cruise ships when we run around, and just it's an island, so it's surrounded by beauty. Well, not all islands are surrounded by beauty, but this one was. And let's go, let's see, right here. Okay, Majorca. So Majorca is right here to the east of Spain. It's a little island, Palma Island off there, and Majorca is right over in here. And I forget what area we actually stopped on the cruise ship, if it was up here or down here, but we went into Majorca. And just great time, beautiful place. Scenery was gorgeous. Luckily, we had a beautiful day. But yeah, great place. You can see something about it. But Marie's going to put some things in there about Majorca. But let's talk about the hat that I'm wearing today. And can you guess? Some of these are really easy. So I mean, it's pretty obvious where the hat's from. But a little bit of a challenge is in one of our videos, we talked about the different locations that we stopped in the place that the hat represents. There was 3 places that we stopped. Can you name those 3 places based on the hat that you see here? All right, so have a little fun with it. So getting into what we're talking about today in our series of the perfect comfort. Now, in order to create perfect comfort in a home, there are a lot of steps. It's not just as easy as sizing the right system. It's not just as easy as installing it. There's a lot of things that go in to the perfect comfort of your home. And each week we're going to talk about these segments. So today is about the myths and mistakes. And let's start off with the biggest one. We've done videos on this before. So Marie will put a link up to some of the other videos that we've done about misconceptions on oversizing. But I'm going to talk briefly about that because there's a couple things I want to dive into here. So we talked about load calculations and the importance of load calculations. And what happens is if we don't do a load calculation to get the proper size air conditioning system and we oversize. And I'm going to focus on oversize. You know, you can undersize, but that issue is so far and few between. It's oversizing. And with oversizing, here's some things that happen. The biggest one. The biggest one is the air conditioning is so oversized. So let's say the house really needs a 3-ton air conditioning system. And because of the square footage of the house, the HVAC contractor, you know, using our little picture and the house fits in the frame, or using the 400 to 500 square foot per ton, comes up with a 5-ton system. All right, so got a 5-ton system. Wow, if I can cool that house down as quickly as possible, the homeowner's going to feel great, right? Because they want it at 75, it's 85. Man, that air conditioning system turns on, it gets down to 75 degrees in 20, 30 minutes. Wow, it's amazing. All right, well, in humid climates, now if you're in the desert where it's 10, 15% humidity, you're not going to have this issue. But there's a lot of places that have high humidity. Even places that you wouldn't think. You know, you think, okay, Florida, South Florida, you know, different places on the coast, but places in the mid-central of the United States, Tennessee and Alabama and Kentucky, Ohio, all those places have humidity. So there's less places that don't have to worry about humidity than there are places that do. So what happens? I'm the air conditioning system. I turn on. And I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to cool this house down as fast as I can. Half hour later, boom, I'm done. Packing it in, I'm going home for the day. I cooled the house down. All right? What have I done? All I have done is drop the temperature. Well, remember, there's two things that involved in the temperature number. There's a sensible number and a latent. The sensible is the temperature change. The humidity is the latent. So if I've cooled the house down so quickly, I have not dehumidified the air. And what did we talk about in the last video about humidity? When moisture gets on your skin from humidity, it doesn't allow your body to breathe. Your air doesn't allow your body to cool itself. So you feel hotter at the same temperature. Why is it in South Florida? It could be 87 degrees outside, and you walk outside and it's like you get hit with a blowtorch. It's because of the humidity. I could be in Arizona and it's 115 degrees and I walk out. Well, I'm still going to get hit in the face, but it's going to be a completely different heat. Okay? I don't have humidity. My body's able to breathe. So in some instances, I might almost feel a little cooler at the hot, well, not sometimes, I will feel cooler at higher temperatures with lower humidity than in places with lower temperatures and higher humidity. Okay? So that's the biggest issue with oversizing the air conditioning system, is I cool it down too quickly. And remember, the air from the house needs to go through the air conditioning system. And it's got that thing called the coil. Remember we talked about the coil that could be an A shape or a slant. And that's the part that the air goes through, and it removes the heat by heat transferring through the copper coils or aluminum coils now. And when it does that, it condenses, and all the moisture then runs down into the drain pan. I'm sure just about all of us watching have had the drain line back up at some time in our lives in an air conditioning system where it leaks through the ceiling, on the floor, or something along those lines. Well, all that water comes from the moisture in your home, and we're supposed to dump it outside. So if we're not getting rid of that humidity, but all we're doing is dropping the temperature, you are going to feel hot still, and it's going to be muggy and nasty in that house at 75 degrees. So what are you going to do? You're going to go and turn the temperature down. Now I turn it down to 73. Still not happy. Why? Because just that 2 degree, the air conditioner turned on for like 5 minutes and it shut off. All right, I need it colder. I'm still not happy. So I turn it down to 71, then to 70, then to 68, then to 69. which and I know I said in the last video, my wife loves keeping the air conditioned 65 degrees. You really shouldn't. You should find a system that is properly conditioned. The only reason we got this is we didn't build the house. We bought the house as is, brand new, but we bought it and we had no say. And well, it's a brand new air conditioning system. So right now I'm not going to dump money into replacing a brand new system with a brand new system. So these are things that you have to consider. So if you're going to replace your air conditioning system, you need to get a load calculation done, HVAC load calculation, manual J, to determine what the correct size of the air conditioning system is. We want the air conditioning system to run for a little bit. Okay? We want it to run a little longer to get the air going through. Now let's do a picture. I got a house up here. So here's our Writes Off software again. Here's the house that we looked at last week, and we got a duct system in there. And this is the CAD drawing behind it. So this CAD drawing, we actually get this from the architect or the builder, and then we'll retrace this, and then we'll draw our ductwork on it. But you can see here, not a very big house, but we've got the air handler in the attic over here, and we have a return here. So what's happening, and you notice there's no returns in the bedroom. And the only reason I don't have those right now is that we're going to be talking later on about proper placement of ductwork and returns. But let's just for instance, this is the return. So this is the area that the unit is pulling air in from, okay, right in here. So obviously the air that's right around this area is going to get into the unit first, through the return, into the air handler, moisture removed, and then it's going to be blown back out. All right, so the air here is going to exchange more times. But what about the air that's way back over here? Or the air that's way back over here in this bedroom? Okay, well, if I am coming on and turning off very quickly, the air that's over here, one, may not even have a chance to get back over to the return. And it's important for it to get into the return because it has to go through the air conditioning system and it has to be conditioned, moisture removed, the temperature dropped, and then pushed back out into the supply ducts. Well, even if I had a return, I still have to have the air get all the way back over here. Well, if I turn on and shut off so quickly, that air may only have a chance, let's use a number, it might only have a chance to get back to the air handler twice. Where the air over here may get back to the air handler 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So that also creates an inconsistency in temperature. But because the air conditioner has turned on and shut off so quickly, this area may have lower humidity and this area is going to have a higher humidity because we have not been able to exchange the air in that room. Okay, well, you say, Tom, well, you're still exchanging air and conditioning it, but this area, this room here, has heat, like we talked about last week. This has heat coming through these walls, heat coming through the windows. So it's a constant exchange. So just because I pull one out, I still got heat penetrating and I got to get rid of that heat. It's not like it's a closed room and once I pull something out, it's not. It constantly has heat going through those windows and the walls and I got to get it back and I exchange it. And I have to exchange the air. So if I oversize it and the unit turns off too quickly, I am going to have humidity issues in the home. One of the other things I'm going to have, which does come from the system being oversized, but the other part has to come with not properly designing the duct system. But today we're focused on the air conditioning and mistakes made when sizing it is when I oversize the system and I'm not able to get the air throughout the building into the unit enough times, all the air, so all the air up here and over here and over here, what happens is now I get hot and cold spots. Because I have not been able to circulate the air through here enough times, I'm going to have a hot spot over here, I'm going to have a hot spot over here, but I might be cooler in this area over here because I've been able to exchange the air more frequently. Right? One of the other big issues, let's think of it this way. What do they tell you about, I don't know about the cars today, because some of them are super efficient, especially, well, obviously the electric cars. But motors in general, when you start an engine, it consumes a lot of power, a lot of fuel in that initial startup, okay, than it does for it to run for a period of time. Now, I know they've had new technology and there's things change, but in general, the minute you crank up that motor, it uses a lot more fuel, a lot more energy. In an air conditioning system, when the compressor first starts up, it has potentially 3 to 10 times more energy consumption, depending on the system, than when it's just running. So think about this. If I oversize my system, and I just use rough numbers, let's say every hour a properly sized system would turn on. One time. I'm just using numbers. Not saying that that's a fact, just trying to simplify things. Air conditioning system, properly sized air conditioning system comes on one time in an hour. Right? An oversized air conditioning system comes on 5 to 7 times maybe per hour because it turns on, drops the temperature quickly, but because it didn't dehumidify and properly condition the air, what happens is the temperature in the house rises much quicker. So what happens? The unit has to come on again and again and again. So what does it do? Let's use a rough number of 5 so we can do the calculations easier. So I have one time it comes on versus 5 times I come on, and the unit could be 10 times the power consumption. So I'm utilizing 50 times potentially more energy consumption than I was if I was turning on once, 40 times. That's the other big problem of oversizing. So if you're not buying an absolute Mac Daddy super efficient air conditioning system, and the ones out there they have now are just insane, not even counting the mini splits. You know, these inverter systems that they have will come on and they'll run from anywhere from 14% capacity all the way up to 100% capacity. And they will only increase as they're needed. You know, it's like you got a little guy down there and he's turning the lever. Okay, I need 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, and he's just adjusted it as the air conditioner needs. And that has to do a lot with the thermostat, the unit itself, and it does all the calculations. But those are the really good systems. And then with the variable speed air handler, they remove 10 times more moisture than anything else. So there are systems out there for it. But with the standard system, 1 time versus 5 times, now you're paying a lot more money than you should be for the unit. So now you've overpaid to buy the system, which going from a 3-ton to a 5-ton could be $3,000-$4,000 or more extra that you're wasting. Now on top of that, you're running the system, it's turning on 5 times more than it should, which is now another $1,000+ of wasted energy a year. So these things build up and can cause problems. So the mistakes, the 400 to 500 square foot per ton, because they don't want to take the time to do a proper load calculation. That's key. Not selecting the right system is also an issue. And when I say the right system, a 3-ton air conditioning system is not a 3-ton air conditioning system always and forever. And we know this, and we pride ourselves in this. In order to properly select the right 3-ton system, and when I say that, I mean the right condenser outside with the right air handler inside, if we're talking a split system. If it's a package unit, same thing, but it's in a package. If you don't have the proper combination, meaning I could have a 3-ton condenser, but maybe I need different humidity control because this house, the way it faces and the windows and the way this attic and stuff is done, has a much higher humidity requirement. I need to choose a different air handler. I may have to go with a smaller coil or a bigger coil. I may have to go with a different size air handler, because just as the condenser's 3-ton, doesn't mean the air handler has to be 3-ton. In some instances, I may have to go with a 2.5-ton air handler to get the right moisture control, or I might have to go with a 3.5 ton air handler in order to get the CFMs that I need to control the temperature and humidity in the house. That process of selecting the right system, the manual J load calculation tells me how much air conditioning I need. To properly select the right system is called manual S as in Sam. Okay? And that is there's a whole book on that. And our team, using the right software, our team has all the things at their fingertips to properly select. So that the software is going to tell us, you need this many BTUs to cool the house. You have this much humidity control that you need to provide. And then we need to find the right combination of equipment that's available out there that will do that job. So not properly doing that. So, if you have the HVAC guy coming in your house, and he's like, okay, here's my 3-ton systems. And, they're working for a manufacturer that says, hey, I'm going to give you guys here. I got a deal for you. Hey, Joey, I got a deal for you. I got all this equipment. You buy all this equipment in bulk, I'm going to give you a 15% discount. So what's the air conditioner guy does? He buys all this extra equipment. He throws it in his warehouse. He sells a few pieces of equipment. He's like, man, I need to get rid of this air conditioning system. Hey, Joe, you go out. They got a 3-ton system. Okay, this is the system that you need to sell. Well, he has no idea whether it's a 3-ton, but he has no idea whether it's the right air handler, the right condenser, or whatever the case may be. He just needs to sell that system because he already paid for it. Plus, he's charging you the regular price. And hey, he's a business person. He's charging you regular price. He's getting some of his money on the back end from the manufacturer, and he makes money on you. But he's not doing you the justice. Everybody has a right to make some profit, right? That's what this world, I don't know about the world, but that's what the United States is about. Properly, ethically, making a good profit so that everybody, the employees can be paid, they can have health insurance, they can have all the things that they need to do to improve their lives. That's what this world is about, or the United States is about. I know some of those other countries are a little different. But so that's another big issue that's involved. So everything has a step. So first off, let's find the load calculation to find exactly what size air conditioning system we need. Then number 2 in this video is let's get away from the common mistakes of using rules of thumb and oversizing our equipment and not having the right combination because we didn't check with them. If you're going to replace your air conditioning system, some of the things I'd like you to ask is, ask the guy who comes out to your house and say, do you know what a manual S as in Sam is? See what he says. If he has no clue, I don't know. Personally, I would shake the man's hand, I would escort him out the door, and I would find another company. Because if they don't know what the manual S is, which is the basics of air conditioning, if they don't know what it is, it means they're not using it for you to properly select the equipment, and they're throwing spaghetti up the wall hoping it's going to stick. So take some of these things we talked about again. Try not to make these videos super long. I mean, as you can tell from how I talk, I don't have big scripts around me, so I don't have to sit there and read through things. Sometimes I misspeak because I'm talking off my own mind. But you got to protect yourself from what's going on out there, and you got to question these people. Before you bring anybody, I don't care what contractor's going to come out to your home. Go on Google, go on ChatGPT. Boy, I love this thing now. It's amazing, especially the new advanced voice feature that they have. This thing is next level. If I had had this 10 years ago when I started ProCalcs, we would be an international sensation by now because it's just helped me amazingly. Use it. Ask it questions. Go on Google. The new AI that they have that helps generate questions. Ask questions about, I'm getting an air conditioning quote. What things should I be looking for? What questions should I be asking? And here's the key. What answers should I expect? Because that's the key. Because a lot of these guys out there, they sell you stuff, but they already got their slick willy approach. But when you question them and you know what answer you should be expecting, it shuts them up. I know this for a fact. So help protect yourself. Don't forget to smash the like button. click on the subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below, what do you think of these videos? We're really trying to focus on getting these out there every week and help to educate you. We really want to get our viewers up so that we can see the education that's going on out there. We're going to have all kinds of classes and courses. I think we have some basic courses already set up if you'd like to look into those. We're also going to be posting some business courses. So if you're watching these and you want to know how me, a guy who dropped out of high school in 10th grade because I had nowhere to live, went into the military, have no college degree, was able to work his butt off, read anything that could be put in front of him, and create a multi-million-dollar international business. That's what that book, the business courses, is going to be about. And I'm also writing a book. It's still in the progress. I don't have dates on when it's going to come out yet. But the book is called Wired for Success. And what we're going to talk about in that book is everything that we have done, all the successes and failures that we've done in order to get to where we are today at ProCalcs. So it's awesome. It's been great chatting with you folks today and have an opportunity to educate you. And remember, you can teach the right person anything. You can't teach the wrong person anything. Are you the right person?